to me.
Information, news, and entertainment on demand.
WSRadio.com.
Welcome to the Mary Goulet Show, cultivating a rich interior. Now, here's Mary.
Welcome back to the program, and let's bring Thom Singer right back in. This is a terrific guy, professional speaker, CSP, Certified Speaking Professional, which is a very tough designation to get, and a tremendous podcaster. So let's go back to you interviewing 50. Did you get to 50?
Oh, yeah, in 6 months, and I never stopped. I'm now 400 episodes in, and I think it's over 350 interviews 4 years later.
What was your pitch?
You know, it's what's great is I think I've been teaching networking skills forever. I think the podcast is the greatest tool I've ever had to reach people. You just ask people, hey, I'd like to interview you on my show about entrepreneurship and success and potential, and people said yes.
There you go.
You know, I've had some people, sometimes celebrities say no, or people who are really, super, well-known. But for the most part, other people, even very successful people, but, who aren't household names, people like to be interviewed. They want to share their knowledge with others.
You know what? To me, do you ever remember people saying, read, X number of books a year? And
sure.
Okay. Podcasting is the audio version of that.
Exactly. And as a host, you can pick out who you want to get that information from.
Exactly. So do you still do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not stopping the show now. I call it, it's called Cool Things Entrepreneurs Do. I define an entrepreneur as anyone who's got that spirit of wanting to grow and try things. So sometimes I interview employees or CEOs of companies that they didn't start, but usually it's solopreneurs. I've had you on the show. It's people who are out there kind of with their own machete, carving their own path in the way. And as I said before the break, success leaves clues. And so the more you get these people to talk, the more you pick up ahas. And it helps me with my business, and hopefully the people who listen to my show are inspired as well.
Do you have any ahas that come to mind?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is that a lot of entrepreneurs, when I ask them about their journey, have failed miserably. A lot have gone bankrupt. A lot have had ideas, go away. People have been kicked out of companies that they faced, that they founded. People had ideas they thought everybody would buy, and then they got crickets when they launched. And then their third, fourth, fifth, or more attempt, all of a sudden things came together, and it was like, bing, and everybody says, wow, what an overnight success. But they were doing this for 10 years.
Right. And one thing, since I've been an entrepreneur pretty much my whole life. My father was his entire life. And I'm basically unemployable. And I call it inventing a paycheck. Mm-hmm. So when people first go out with their idea and you say they failed miserably, I think that's almost a necessary part of the process, because we think of being an entrepreneur as a mental process, but it's inherently an inspired process. We get this thought like, oh, we get the chills. I want to try that. Oh, I see this need. And we always end up in a better place, because when we fail, a little bit of that desperation, oh my God, the family's going to notice, or friends are going to look at me and say, because we challenge other people's fear when we have courage.
Well, I think one of the greatest things to study along those lines are stand-up comics. I've been doing a lot of study of people in stand-up, and as it turns out, the people who we see on Netflix specials and the people we see on The Tonight Show, a lot of them have been doing it for 5 and 10 years, and they started off going to free open mic nights in coffee shops and not getting any laughs. They call it getting stage time, and you have to go out and learn. I watched one comic. I went to an open mic night in San Diego at the Madhouse Comedy Club down in Horton Plaza, and I watched the same comic 4 nights in a row because it was open mic night every night, and he did the same joke. And one night it was kind of rude and dirty. I didn't find it funny. One night it was kind of okay. Third night it was a little different, but it still didn't make me belly laugh. And the next night he was one of the featured comics on Friday night in the lineup. And the joke killed. And I asked him later, it was very different than the other 3 nights. He goes, I've been telling that joke for 3 years the way you saw it tonight. He goes, but I think that joke can be funnier. So I always try it different ways at open mic night, and I'm waiting to find the way. For 3 years I've been looking for a funnier version.
Wow.
I haven't found it yet.
Yeah, and you have taken that on almost by accident you started doing this.
Yeah, I was at a meeting of the National Speakers Association, and I was with a guy who is a professional comic and speaker. He speaks on humor in the workplace. And I was going to be in New York where he lives, and he said, come to open mic night with me. And I said, I would love to watch you try new material. And the guy who was standing there started shaking his head like that's not what he's inviting you to do. He's inviting you to get up on stage. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm too old to start doing stand-up. And he said, why? And I didn't have an excuse, and part of what I teach in this paradox of potential is you got to try new things. And he goes, aren't you the person who teaches try new things? And I was like, God, you hate it when they throw your own work back at you.
Oh, right.
So I did. I was in New York in Greenwich Village, and I went to a comedy club with my friend, and I signed up for open mic night, and I did a 5-minute set. And it wasn't hysterical. Seinfeld was not worried about job security because I entered the space. However, it didn't suck, and I decided I had stuff I could learn from it. So I've now done, in the past 6 months, 26 open mic nights, almost one a week. Either in Austin where I live or when I travel, I just go online and look up comedy open mic night. And if there's one near my hotel at a club or at a coffee shop, I go do it.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So a friend of mine, Rusty Nails, he's in NSA, National Speakers Association. And prior to that, he's always been a comic. He was a DJ. And
I was going to say he was a DJ in Southern California.
Yeah,
right?
He was a DJ, 91X in San Diego.
Yep. Back in my day.
California. Yes. So he's a friend of mine. And he was so funny. I said, you've got to do the comedy section at the NSA in Arizona. I don't know why I wasn't going that year. He won, hands down. Mm. And he's hilarious. And he did corporate gigs for Mercedes or whatever. And I go, how do you do that? He goes, I just see funny. Mm-hmm. Now, when you went up there cold that night in New York, do you just see funny? How did you pull a 5-minute set?
So what I did the first time is I pulled from speeches I give, and I pulled some humor that I use in speeches. And before I went on, I sat down in the bar with my comic friend, and he took a look at my stuff, and he said, this is speech humor. It's not stand-up. And so he helped me change some of the things around, like 10 minutes before I went on stage. And he was actually surprised I was willing to just do what he said.
Wow.
And it worked, and some of the stuff that he used that night I still use in my main 5-minute set. But that part about he sees funny, that's what I'm trying to learn. I am trying to learn to see it. I keep a notebook with me where I write down funny things or things I know could be funny. Like if something happens to me in an airport or an airplane, and I'm like, there's something funny here, I'll write down the scenario so that I can go back later and find the punchline.
I think that's awesome. Okay, so where can people find you? I want to make sure to get that out before the segment ends.
ThomSinger.com. That's ThomSinger.com. Thom Singer.
So if I know you've mentored other people, what do you think is your best advice? And here's the second question to that, because it might blend. For people who are older who want to venture out, what advice would you give them? One, don't quit your day job, probably.
So yeah, I think don't quit your day job. But the other thing is a lot of people think, I missed that boat. Well, I'm not expecting to become a professional comic, but I will tell you, I'm a rarity at 52 years old going to open mic nights. Most of them are, 22 and 25-year-olds. So what that they're mostly 22 and 25? And if you want to go be an entrepreneur, I only started this 9 years ago. The only regret I have is I didn't start it 19 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's an age where you have to do it. I don't think that we retire at 65 anymore. I think you can reinvent yourself at any point. So my advice is start trying new things. If I hadn't already been speaking and been paid a few times, it would have been hard to go cold to a full run when I got laid off.
Oh, sure.
So if there's something you want to do, start it as a side project and get it going. And then if you end up in a bind, you can go with it like I did. Or if you get to a point where you're like, I'm set. Now I'm going to go. I know a person who is my age. He's in his mid-50s, just started a speaking career, and he's crushing it because his topic is cybersecurity. But he was an FBI agent, and that's what he studied. He was a leading expert in the FBI on cybersecurity, but he waited until he retired. Now he has a full pension. But he's learning a whole new business at 55.
It's never too late. Okay, thank you for listening to The Mary Goulet Show. Thank you, Tom. Such a delight having you on the show. You're terrific. One of my favorites.
Thank you.
All right. Next time on The Mary Goulet Show will be another fabulous guest. Thanks for listening.
I've been bragging about Progressive Medical Center to you guys for years, and I'm so excited to have Dr. Agoli with us because, Dr. Agoli, a lot of people walk through your doors, and some of their biggest problems are they're just fatigued, they're tired all the time, and even though they're dieting and exercising, they cannot get the weight off. Why is that?
It's a combination of poor metabolism, inappropriate eating, but more importantly, it's due to a lack of education and really doing the right testing. A lot of our patients are metabolically compromised. What does that mean? Their metabolism is not functioning. The metabolism is responsible for all physical and chemical processes necessary to sustain life, and that includes energy. And without cellular energy, your body is not going to be a burning machine. Let's get back and teach our listeners to be a fat-burning machine.
It's been a lot easier to maintain my weight since Progressive Medical Center started treating me with all-natural supplements, learning proper nutrition, and that can be you today. No more frustrations about being tired or overweight. So why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today through progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life, live it well.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
As a direct sales leader, you know you need a wide range of skills. You also need to pass those skills along to your team because growing other leaders is the key to growing your organization and your income. Team Connections will provide you with the leadership training you need to make it happen by joining our first Friday call each month. But you don't have to take our word for it. You can try First Friday absolutely free by joining us for a special free preview call on August 24th. For more information, visit Team Connections on Facebook or visit our website at www.teamconnections.org First Friday.
No family can survive on 2 incomes anymore, let alone 1. If you are supplementing your family's income working from home, then tune into The Cash Flow Show, Direct Sales Radio. The Cash Flow Show, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time.
This is Bill Gruber with BizVid Communications, a Southern California video production leader. We've been honored to sponsor, produce, write, and host many of the fine programs on WS Radio over the years. So we understand how important the internet and your website exposure are. As video producers, we know the tricks and secrets to incorporate video to increase your search engine optimization and business success. Visit bizvidcommunications.com to see what we can do for you. BIZVID communications.com.